Hey guys, welcome back to Escape Roots Yoga. I'm Jodie Scarrow, and today we will be doing a beginner stretching routine. No props required for today. If you do have some yoga blocks, those might come in handy, but I will give you modifications for everything without any props. So let's get started. This is something that you can kind of do every day and work to develop some flexibility. So we're gonna start in what's called a child's pose. So you're gonna come onto your knees. If coming onto your knees is a little too painful, it doesn't feel good, you can take something like a cushion or even a blanket and put it under your knees. That being said, you can definitely do this with no props. And then you're going to begin to make your way forwards with the hands and just bring them all the way out in front of you. So once again, blanket or no blanket. And then once you're here, just begin to draw your awareness to your breath. And don't be afraid to move around here. So some things that I like to do when I'm teaching my yoga students is I'll have them press into the palms. So see how that feels. Maybe the shoulders fall closer to the mat. Keep sending the breath behind the heart. So filling up the backs of the lungs. And then from here, you can also walk your hands over to the right side or the left side. So let's walk to the left first. Take the right hand over top of the left hand and keep pressing the hips back in space. And every time you're stretching, every time you're putting your body in a position that could potentially be a little uncomfortable, you want to focus on your breathing. And then let's come back through the middle. You can take the other side if you chose this option, or you can just continue to stay in your child's pose. So finding a nice long diagonal line between the fingers and that left hip, the back hip. Okay, let's come back to the middle. Option to stay here or to rise up onto the fingertips. So creating like little tents with your hands. And then see how this feels for the shoulders. Once again, keep that deep breath. Let's press the palms down and then make your way into a tabletop position. So you're going to take the pointer fingers towards the top of the mat, a little bit of external rotation with the hands. And then from here, you can drop the belly down, roll the shoulders down the back, and lift the heart. So you should be feeling a nice stretch through the belly. Don't be afraid to kind of shift back and forth just slightly here. Don't crunch the neck too much. And then exhale, let's press the floor away, almost like someone is lifting you up from your belly button. Beautiful. So you should feel a nice stretch kind of through the shoulders. You can tuck the chin to the chest here. Maybe get something going on in the back of the neck. And then drop the belly down once again. Lift the heart. Eyes look up. So normally in a yoga class, we would inhale here as we lift and grow with the chin. And then let's exhale together. Press the floor away. Finding that same kind of contracted position. Okay, great. Let's undo that contraction. So come to your neutral spine. We're just going to take the legs around so they're in front of us. Doesn't matter which way you go. And we're going to come to a position that's either cross-legged or something similar to that. So if cross-legged doesn't work for you, you can come onto your knees. You can even come onto your tail with just the legs kind of spread out in front of you. Cross-legged is my suggestion, not the only option. Okay, from here, we're going to inhale, lift both arms up. Exhale, let's lean over to the left. Press into the opposite hip, so the right hip. You can have your left palm on the mat, or you can go down to the elbow. Just make sure that both hips are grounded and that you're looking up towards the sky. So lifting through that right, almost the armpit. Energy in those top fingers. Let's come back through the middle. Inhale, both arms come up. Exhale, lean over to the right now. Left hip drills down towards the mat. Looking under that left armpit, so up towards the sky here. Beautiful. Come back up to the middle. Let's just take a moment, look up towards the sky, inhale. And then exhale, draw the chin to the chest. Inhale, look up. Exhale, chin draws to chest. Inhale, look up. Exhale, chin to chest. Okay, return to that neutral gaze and then look to your right shoulder. Back to the middle. To your left shoulder. Back to the middle. Right shoulder. Don't worry if the sides are a little bit different. Middle. Left. Middle. Let's take a slight roll. So drop the chin down. Then roll. Draw your right ear towards your right shoulder. And then tilt the head back. Only go as far as feels good. So maybe you're not even really bringing your head back too far. I typically don't. Left ear towards left shoulder. Back. Chin to chest forwards. And then inhale, lift up. Let's go the other way. Exhale, draw the nose down. Left ear to left shoulder. Gaze goes up. Don't crunch the neck. Right ear, right shoulder. Back through the middle. Rise up. Good job. Okay, from here, let's take both arms up overhead. Exhale, we're going to find a twist. So left hand is going to reach across for the right knee. You're going to use this right hand behind the back as a stake for the spine. So you're sitting up nice and tall, twisting, looking over that right shoulder. See if you can relax your inner thighs here. That's a good one. I normally get some people with that. And then come back through the middle. Inhale, both arms come up. Exhale, find a twist. Other side. So once again, left hand is a stake for the spine. Inner thighs are relaxing. Maybe you can even laugh at yourself if you did that on both sides. And then come back to the middle. Good job. From here, we're just going to take the hands, walk them forwards. So trying to get the elbows on the ground maybe, or maybe even the forehead onto the ground. So just feeling a little awakening in the external rotators. Let's walk the hands back in. Switch the legs. And make your way forwards one more time. Once again, these stretches designed to be done kind of every day. So don't feel like you have to get your nose to the floor on day one. Rome was not built in a day. Be gentle with yourself here, both physically and mentally. Okay, let's walk those hands back in. From here, you're going to take that right hand, bring it up behind the head like you're reaching for the tag on your shirt. And then inhale, you're just going to lift up with the gaze. So almost lifting the chin, very gentle here. So not pushing the arm too hard, just kind of noticing a little opening in the tricep. Great. And then we're going to lean over to the left. Your gaze is going to go up towards that right elbow. You won't be able to see it, but it's just the idea. So to recap, we have the left hand on the ground. We have the right hand reaching for the tag on the shirt, and then gaze is looking up towards the right. You can even come down onto that left elbow if it feels good. This is pretty intense, so find a spot that feels right for your body. Remember, this class is for you, not for anyone else, so don't worry about what it looks like. We're just trying to find some opening, maybe in that tricep, maybe in the chest. Stay with the breath. And come back to the middle. Take that right arm down. Left arm comes up. Inhale. Exhale, reach for the tag. Just lift the chin just slightly here. Just kind of noticing any opening in that tricep. keeping the chest nice and lifted here, trying to keep that straight posture we strive for. And then you can slide the right hand out, turn the gaze up towards the left. Once again, this is pretty intense. You can come down onto the elbow if it feels good. Once again, always coming back to the breathing. Sometimes stretching only feels good after we're done. So we need to almost find a coping mechanism to make it through, because these stretches are good for you. So what can we do to kind of control the mind as we're doing these poses? We can breathe. And let's return to the middle. Good job. Maybe take a little shake if that feels good. And then come back to that tabletop position. Classic yoga teacher move coming up here. We're going to go into a downward facing dog. So you're pressing into your hands, trying to get the heels somewhere towards the floor. Knees do not have to be straight. In fact, they can be bent and the heels can be off the floor a little bit. So what we're trying to do here is actually get the chest back, and you can try to work to get your belly and your thighs close together here. So nod your head yes, shake your head no. Release any tension in that part of the body. It's not helping you. And then focus on getting a stretch or finding a stretch in the calves and maybe in the hamstrings. So you're pressing the floor away. And don't feel like you have to stay still here either. Similar to our child's pose, we can kind of move from side to side. You can swivel the hips. You can maybe shift back and forwards a little bit, but whatever you do, make sure that it feels right for your body today. There's no prizes for getting your heels flat in downward dog. Okay, from here, you're going to look in between your thumbs. Take this right foot, you're going to work it forwards. So you can use your hand to help you if you need. I'll demo that. So using the right hand to help the right foot come forwards. Then we're coming into a lunge. So you're going to drop that left knee on the floor. If you have blocks, you can place them under the hands here. If you don't have blocks, totally fine. You can bring your hands onto your knee or onto the floor. So we're trying to get the sole of the foot on the left foot facing the sky. And knee ideally stays over the ankle. There is new research that indicates that this might not be the most important thing to work on here. So just, if you have any knee pain, adjust until you don't. And you know what's best for you here. A few more breaths. Option also to take the arms up overhead and hook the thumbs here. And ideally, we're pressing into that right heel. So that is going to activate the glute. 2 more breaths. Okay, hands come down to frame the foot. Slowly begin to walk the hands back and send the hips back. So we're coming into this half split, this runner stretch. So ideally we have the hip over top of the knee. Right foot is flexed out in front of us, and then we're pulling this right hip back as we lean forward. Similar to your downward dog, this front knee does not have to be straight. You can have a little bend in it. Focusing on getting the belly towards the thighs. And don't worry about what it looks like. Don't worry about how high up you are. We're focusing on finding some length in that hamstring. So if you feel a stretch, you're doing it right. That's all there is to it. Let's crawl our way back forwards to that low lunge. And then step it back. So I'll help you through this. If you know where you're going, go ahead. Just make your way to downward facing dog. If not, Tuck those back toes under. You're gonna press into your hands and then work your way back into a downward facing dog. Don't worry if it didn't look pretty, if it didn't feel pretty. You gotta practice these transitions for quite some time before they feel simple and natural. Back in your down dog. Hips press up towards the sky. And then when you're ready, left foot steps forwards. Find that low lunge. Hands go wherever feels good for you. Once again, trying to get the sole of the foot on the right foot facing the sky. Pressing into that left heel, the front heel. And when you're ready, hands come down to frame the foot. Begin to walk yourself back. Find that runner's lunge. Once again, do not worry about getting that front leg straight. Not a requirement. We're only looking to get a nice stretch in the hamstring. Once again, blocks are your friends here. If that back knee is starting to hurt, you can put something underneath it. So if you have a blanket or pillow, or you can even roll your mat up, like do it twice, fold it twice, and then pop your knee on top of it. That can help too. So very common to get a little bit of knee irritation in this pose. Just give yourself a little padding. And when you're ready, crawl your way back forwards. And this time we'll just step back into a child's pose. So big toes together, knees apart. Work your way down. And we're going to enjoy a few moments of bliss here. And when you're ready, you can close your practice for today. Our quick little stretching practice. So these stretches, as I said, could be done every day if you want to begin to do kind of a gentle yoga practice or begin to develop some flexibility. There's also definitely quite a few other stretches that you couldn't add in eventually, but this is a great place to start. So thank you for sharing your practice with me today, and I hope to see you soon. Namaste.